Okay, so hold on. Let me disconnect this right here. Okay, so I wanted to come on here and make this video. I got out of bed. I wasn't even wearing a bra, and I knew that, I wanted to have cute little top on for the video, so I put on this cute little top that I got from what is it called? Shein, whatever it's going by nowadays, right? And I put on my wig, and now I've come to talk my shit. Okay, so what I wanted to get on here and say today was that a lot of people are mentally ill, and they're not even like, because it's normal. Like, I don't even know if it's appropriate to say, oh, I don't even know if mental illness is the appropriate term. It even might be Mental Health Awareness Month, or maybe it was just recently. I'm not sure. But I am a person who has been diagnosed, right? I have been labeled with a mental illness, and that's fine. I, I question the validity of my diagnosis for several reasons. Partially because apparently it was based off of testimony of non-professionals, just regular Joe Blows being all like, well, it seems like, she got anger. She was quick to anger. And I'm like, maybe because you are constantly a douchebag. Did you think about that? But no, apparently I'm the problem, but apparently, like, the way I was diagnosed was, the way that I got my first diagnosis, I don't know. The way I first had a doctor tell me, or tell, even not even me, just like people around me, just write down their piece of paper so that they can go on about their day, label me as having some kind of mental illness, was because my dad, according to him, intentionally sought out a mental illness label so that he could, benefit from it. And I remember I left my college that I was attending because I was having issues. I was smoking a lot of weed, and I started experiencing something that I have never before experienced in my life. And so, left that school. I went and I stayed with my sister for a while, and then, but she was busy with her schooling and, taking care of herself. So I couldn't stay with her. So I ended up going to live with my father, who, didn't even have his own place at the moment. So I really wasn't going to live with my father. I was going to live with a relative that I refer to as my big mama. So I was really going to live with her. And she was all like, not her, but so, I'm continuing to have my issues. I'm continuing to experience problems. And my dad, having his experience with having a mental illness, having a mental illness label, he literally took me to the emergency room and didn't even describe what was happening. He this is like the start of my problems with accepting a mental illness label for me in particular, because of how it happened for me. I imagine other people had different experiences with how they got their diagnosis or whatever, but this is how it happened for me, and it makes me just very cynical. But so, like, my dad he didn't even bother to describe what was happening to me because he didn't know. All he said was, he literally said, he used keywords so that they would admit me into the hospital on a psychiatric, whatever, like a watch, you know? So he was like, oh, well, she's homicidal and suicidal. I remember. He was like, she's homicidal and suicidal. And I remember being there thinking that I was going to get help because of what was happening to me. And when I heard him say that, I was all like, no, I'm not. That's not me at all. So I literally left. I ran away. I was like, no, this is BS. Because I realized that I just realized that it was BS. What was going to happen after that? Everything was predicated on this lie that was told literally just to get me in the door. And I'm like, So anyways, I left, came back, ended up going into the hospital. And immediately after I leave the hospital, like I said, I went through this because of my dad's experience and what he thought that he was going to accomplish. So I'm a very young girl who just dropped out of college. I'm obviously having some kind of crises happening to me, right? So I'm very, so this is my dad who has, emotionally like tried to intimidate me and control me and dominate me my entire life, okay? So he's thinking, get her mental label by the hospital, take her, sign her up for disability benefits, and then control her money. That was his goal. How am I gonna get money coming into this house because she's here? How am I going to capitalize off of this situation? So immediately after I left the hospital with my diagnosis, takes me to a doctor to say, okay, she is not fit for working. Therefore, she needs to have this mental disability income because she can't work. She can't deal with, being in the public. She can't work. So she needs to have this money coming in. And I remember going to talk to this doctor, and he asked me, those very basic questions that if you have any experience with stuff like this, that I'm sure is very common and that you hear, where they're all like, who's the president? What year is it? Stuff like that. Stupid shit, really. And it's like, what are you trying to determine about me exactly? Because I could not know this stuff, not because I'm mentally ill or deranged, but because I just don't give a F. I don't care. Like, I think it's ridiculous. So whatever. But yeah, but that guy, it didn't go how my dad wanted it to go. And the guy was all like, no, she's good. She's fine. Like I said, he really didn't ask me anything. I don't know what he was basing it off of, but he was like, no, she's fine. And so my dad was not happy. And so but he wouldn't let go of this concept of me collecting a disability check. So literally, anytime, my mental state came up, his end goal was always me getting this check. And my dad is not the kind of man to where he's like, he's not like, I'm just trying to, see you do good and see you be okay. No, he's thinking, I'm going to have this money, not me. He's thinking that he's going to have this money. He's thinking that he's going to have control of it. He's thinking that he's going to manipulate me, use me so that he can have this money, so that he can pay for whatever it is that he wants to pay for, probably drugs. Okay. This is what it is. And something that I've heard a lot and that I've seen a lot people say is like, hey, if you don't want the story to be told, you shouldn't have did it. Something that I understand to be true is that people who try to abuse you and control you and gaslight you and manipulate you and walk all over you, they don't want part of trying to discredit me and make me seem like a unreliable source is because the fear of what happens when I speak. You know, throughout my entire life, I have been an impactful communicator, whether I'm writing, whether I'm speaking to somebody, trying to explain a concept to somebody. I have been an impactful communicator. This has been this message, just truth, has been presented to me in several ways. Whether I'm making really great grades on my essays, whether, because I used to be very quiet and shy, and so my teachers would like receive my work and they're all like, wow, wow. So whether I'm making great grades and receiving really positive feedback on different, essays that I turn in, or like if I had to do a speech, a presentation in class. I remember I had to do a presentation in class when I was in middle school, and after that class, I just happened to be in the bathroom, and the teacher of that class was in the bathroom too. I didn't know it. And I was about to leave the bathroom when she came out the bathroom stall, and she was like, no, wait, stop. She's like, I just wanted to tell you that was amazing. Like, her hands covered in her piss. And she's like, before you leave, I just want to tell you this. Great. Wow. Okay. So this all kind of reaffirmations. I remember there is this guy years ago, obviously. Well, not obviously, but years ago. And I had met him, I want to say like at a Walmart, just some like random Negroid. And I was like really horny. It's something that I have like dealt with for a long time, like thinking that I want to have penis in my vagina. I've learned that that's not what I want. But anyways, so I was really horny, and I was like, there's this guy, and we exchanged numbers. He was just some line. I was like, I'm just gonna use him just to have some sex. So he comes over one night, so we could do it, as in have intercourse. And he's all like, I remember he was annoying me because he kept telling me like, oh, we need to have unprotected sex. Like, can we just have unprotected sex? Because he had all sorts of reasons, but I kept saying no, no, no. So then his final reason was, well, I don't even have a condom on me. So, we don't want to like waste all this effort and energy and this desire that we have for one another. Like, we just have to do it and, just hope for the best. Just hope you don't get pregnant. And I was like, no, 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 no. And so he saw that I was serious and we weren't going to have sex without the condom. And so he was all like, oh, I did bring one. So we have sex. I don't like it. And then like I was like, that's literally like in my mind, that's all we were going to do. Especially because I didn't like it. I was like, okay, I'm done with you. But he keeps like trying to contact me. So finally I pick up and I let him have it. I'm just rambling off the top of my head about why he sucks. And he's all like, he starts laughing. First off, he's just like stunned. And then he starts laughing at me. He's like, oh my gosh, like, did you write this out? Like, is this like an essay? He literally asked me if I had wrote down my talking points before speaking to him and if I was reading. That's how like on point what I was saying to him just off the fly sounded in his mind. He was like, this bitch is like intense, So it's been confirmed for me over and over and over again that I am a really good communicator and a really effective communicator. As in I make people feel something. Whether they agree with me or not, they're gonna feel something. So this is why I feel like, and I can like make it into a like a religious thing, like a God thing, to where it's all like, this is why so many years of my life since I've become an adult has been put into this effort to make me not speak, to make me not want to share my thoughts and my words with anyone really, because I apparently am not a reliable source. So like even right now, my one living baby daddy, when I'm making a point that in his mind is too close to home, he just, instead of addressing the issue, instead of arguing his point, instead of countering my argument, he attacks me. And I know that this is a technique in arguing that has been shown to be BS, but he, instead of countering the point and focusing on the point, he'll try to attack me. He'll try to attack little things. Like, I have a speech impediment. I say things incorrectly all the time. I struggle to pronounce certain words, and he'll pick at that stuff. Like, is that even a word? Is that the right word? Or, well, don't forget that you're this and you're that. Like, you've been to the mental hospital and they said that you're this, oh, that's not real, like just stuff like that. And it's like, it gets to a point to where I get so tired of it's to a point to where I don't even want to say anything, because I'm like, this is pointless, because you are so defensive. And it's like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I am trying to improve the situation. But you are so defensive. And something that I have noticed, like, there was a guy, and I noticed it like maybe last year, like, a lot of men don't like me. They like the way that I look, and they want to fuck me. But when I start opening my mouth and voicing my opinions, really, they're just opinions. Everyone has them. They do not like me. They do not like me. And I can't really say much for women. I feel like I try to be very nice and kind, but women don't even like that sometimes, so it's like something that I have had to deal with for a lot in my life is just being not well received, like feeling like I'm not well received, even though and then putting that making it an issue, a personal issue, as opposed to realizing and understanding, and this is the point of the video, that the people around me, they have mental issues. Yeah, and I'm not saying it in a way to where it's like they need to go to a hospital and they need to be labeled. I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is, I saw a video, I can't think of the guy's name, but apparently, like, he's pretty popular on YouTube, and probably, like, he's like a public speaker and all that stuff, like inspirational type guy. And but some point that he made is that all these people are spending so much time pointing out what's wrong with me, what's wrong with you, and it's like the whole time, this cliche, but there's fingers pointing back at them. People have issues. It's very, very common. It's extremely common. It's so common, the issues that people have, that they're not saying that it's an issue anymore. They just go along with it. People who have issues find other people who support their issues, and they say it's normal. It's like, this Christians, their issues, they go find other people, they go to church and they find other people with the same issues, and then they say that it's normal. Something that I understood right from the beginning is that people have freaking issues, and they're just saying that it's normal. And then I come, and I don't think that I'm absolutely 100% unique. There have been so many people, apparently, who have been alive, who have lived. So I don't think that, and who are alive right now. So I don't think that I'm, just absolutely completely different. But I know that I am me, and I'm interested in being me and saying what I see and what I feel, and not just consuming other people's thoughts, but also voicing and formulating my own. And just what I have seen is, people are ill because for me, and I've just now come to the realization that I might have like some form of, autism or some kind of, social issues. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say it, but I used to have like panic attacks and like, yeah, being around people, and I used to really, really struggle. And now I'm just like so disillusioned with people that I feel like I don't really struggle anymore, because I understand that there's nothing to be anxious about, because no one out here is worth me feeling anxious. And this is something that I have to learn and teach myself, and I have to keep reminding myself, and I have to build up my strength and my resistance. But I can't think of not one person, not one on this planet who deserves me feeling, who justifies me feeling insecure, me feeling shy, me feeling less than. I can't think of not one, anywhere, ever, anywhere. Can't imagine it. You know what I mean? I really can't. So it's like it's like breaking this self-imposed habit that I allowed myself to operate within. It's like, no. It's a farce. It's a lie. There's no point. So the point of this video was to go, like I said, I've struggled with social anxiety and all that stuff. And because like I have a hard time understanding why people do what they do. And so what I do in my mind, because I do have a very analytical mind, so what I do in my mind is like I try to categorize all their behaviors. Like, how should I feel about this person? Like, for instance, my baby daddy. I'm like, does he love me? Does he want to be with me? What is the point of what's happening? Why is this how it is? And so I'll go through all the facts that I have. Oh, he was texting Becky. Oh, he was checking out Amber, but he bought me this bracelet and he lets me stay at his place and he asks me what I want for dinner, different things. And then I'm like, but he also is an idiot. And he's really hard to communicate with, because like I said, men don't like how well-spoken and intelligent that I am. You know what I mean? He's intimidated, so it's like, how much can you really love me if, you're scared and you're trying to undercut me, and you're trying to, which it seems like a lot of men want to do, you're trying to humble me. You're trying to bring me down to a level to where you feel like you can handle me and you can manhandle me, where you feel like you're my God and you're going to shape me like I'm clay in your hands. So yeah. So that's what I do. I analyze all of their behavior. I analyze it in my mind. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I can't figure you out, because you haven't figured yourself out, sweetie. Because like it says in the Bible, you have more than one master. Because like you try to label me as being so mentally unstable. You're like that man freaking swaying in the breeze, going one way and then going the next, because you do what you don't want to do, because you have no control, because you're just, so it's like I have a hard time figuring out people, because they're all over the freaking place. And what it made me realize is that they are mentally unstable. Yeah, most of the people that you're dealing with are mentally unstable, and that's why you're so confused That's why you don't know who you can trust. That's why you're going back and forth, because you're all like, what is this? You know, it's like watching, it's like experiencing Mean Girls. You know, Regina George, and it's all like, do you, what? Do you like me or not? She was crazy. Like the way she treated Lindsay Lohan, the way she treated everybody in that school, the way she treated her mother. Crazy. And now in an age where everyone wants to be Regina George, but of course no one wants to be disliked for it, but everyone wants to be influential and popular and all that stuff. Baby, they're it's hard to figure them out. What does this behavior mean? What does this behavior mean? What does this behavior mean? It's like when you look at your favorite politician's voting record. It's like, wait, you voted for this, but then you voted for that. What are you saying? What are you trying to, what message are you trying to convey? Mixed signals, okay? Very, very mixed. And, you know, I understand the concept of there being shades of gray. I get that. I just, you know, I don't know. I was just thinking, I was like, where are the people who are convicted and who are convinced and who are stubborn and who are driving towards one goal? Do you know what I mean? For instance, something that I have been very conscious of, and that I, again, just starting to not, you know, realizing that I am free to not care about that. But something that I've been very conscious of is all of a sudden years ago, I noticed that I don't, when I look at people, I look at one eye. I don't know how I did it before. I don't know what people are doing now, but I can't look at both eyes. Or I don't, when I'm talking to people. I look at one eye and I always worry like, oh my gosh, since I'm focusing on one eye, are my eyes cross-eyed? Like, does one eye look, you know, lazy or cross-eyed or whatever? And this is something that used to make me so anxious. Again, me mispronouncing words, whatever. When I'm talking to people, of course, now I realize it really doesn't matter. But what I learned from my experience of focusing on one thing is that it can make you look different than everybody else. Because like I said, everybody else has more than one master, okay? Everybody else wants the revolution, right? But they also want, they don't, let me put it like this, they don't want the revolution. What they want is a reversal of roles, right? So if their perception is on the totem pole, they're at the bottom. They don't want a revolution so that they can change the way things are. They want a revolution so that they can place themselves at the top. And that is different. Like for me, like something else that I was thinking about was how, because I used to go to a church that was, it was a white church. It was a white church, okay? White pastors, white worship people, white team leaders, and it had a youth pastor. Automatic ding dong, it's a white church, right? And I was thinking how silly it is, because one of the pastors was all like, he was just talking about his finances and like how you have to, you know, depend on God for your finances, and how sometimes it seems like things are not going to work out, but then, you know, but God. And I'm all like, you are it doesn't even matter that you're young, really, you know, because you're a man, but you are a young, attractive, white, and then the attractive thing, you're a man, but still, right, you're a young, attractive, white male in America, and you can't come up on some money? Sweetie, I don't buy it. And I am not impressed by your young white male ass saying that God intervened in your God is what helped you survive in America? Like, have you seen those like those shows, like for instance, like Rick and Morty, where it's like a character who's very powerful and influential is all like, no, sweetie, don't thank God, thank me, right? You are a white man in America, and I'm supposed to be all like, oh, well, God did it for him, he'll do it for my black ass. Just not impactful. Not impactful. It's not giving what you think it's giving. You're not helping anybody. This testimony, unhelpful. Okay. There's a bunch of mentally ill people going around finding one another, gathering together, and then telling each other that we are not sick. Yes, you are. You are crazy. You are crazy. I feel like I recorded a video like this before, and I don't think I ever posted it, but like all these people who try to discredit my voice because it wasn't going along with their flow, that doesn't mean that I'm wrong. You know, and I feel like it takes a big person, something that this white man was not. It takes a big, mature person to be able to say, you're not wrong. It's just that I'm trying to run this little cult, right? And you're gonna shake that up. That's all. Instead, you know, you're trying to make me seem like I'm wrong with some BS line. He's like, oh, God, you gotta love white Christians. He's all like, you know, the Bible says, touch not my anointed. And I was talking to my baby daddy, and I was like, you know, it's hard to tell a rich man that he's not God's anointed. Very, very hard, because he's all like, but sweetie, I'm rich. You know. So, you know, it's not surprising, right, that a white man in the South of America would use his white skin and his position with his brainwashed sheep and his money to be all like, it's me. I'm the one who's right. I'm the one who's correct. And then I say something like, racism. And he's like, oh, not I. Racism, mental illness, just because it's stupid. That's all. It's just stupid. That's it. And people have their reasons for it and they try to justify it. I hear you. It's just stupid is all. It's just stupid. You know, say it for what it is. It's not that you are less than because you're black. Sexism, it's not that you are less than because you're a woman. It's just that I am benefiting so much from the way things are. That's all. Well, okay, but then you try to justify it and be like, this is what God wants. I am the anointed one. And I'm like, sweetie, did you ever read about all the rich people and the rich kings in the Bible who are like not on God's side? Did you ever read about that? Why as a white man in America are you identifying with the underdog? Why do you see yourself like that? Why can't you see that you're the giant as a white man in America? You don't see that. That's interesting to me because you lack so much awareness. You're mentally ill. Anyway, so and that was the point of this video. That a lot of people are mentally ill and they don't even get it. You know, and they're all like, but you. And I'm like, I do experience my fair share of shit. Yeah. So what? What about you, sweetie? Huh? Anyways, I didn't expect this video to be this long. I started rambling as per usual. I used to think that me talking, rambling to the camera was not a good enough video, but it is. It is. Okay. Well, I'm about to, I don't know, maybe I could go for a run or something. I haven't taken a run in a long time. Let me see. Oh, depends how much battery I have. I might go for a run because I haven't ran in a long time. I have been doing at home workouts with my dumbbells, but I haven't ran. And I am still trying to lose weight. You know, I want my stomach to be flatter. I want to lose this. So we'll see. I'm thinking about getting one of those stones that people have been using. That's really, see? And I don't even know if that's just fat, because it feels like it's more than just fat. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's my face, unfortunately. So I remember a few months ago, it actually, for something down there, swelled up on one side. And I was like, what is that? Like, I don't know. It might, like, I don't know. I might not be able to lose that. But anyways, yeah, I might go run. I don't know. I just want to say that you're crazy. Yeah. You're crazy and you don't even know. All right.